What kind of impression did the 80s make on you? From Miatas to minivans, superconductivity to cellular phones. Take our quiz and see how much you know about history's fastest changing decade. Plus, the greater the danger, the bigger the thrill. Daredevil ice climbers tell us why they risk their lives on nature's frozen walls. See it now, USA Today on TV this weekend. See it from a different angle.
Remember 45 RPM records? Do you remember telephones with wires? How about mailing instead of faxing? You see, all those things may soon be forgotten because of technological advancements of the 80s. And in today's special report on the best of the 80s, a look at the high-tech steps we're making toward tomorrow.
Well, there are several candidates probably for the single best product, but the compact disc and the fax machine and cellular phones are certainly three of the best.
Laser fax technology. Laser quick, laser clear.
Fax machine, as you know, has probably been around for about 20 years, but this decade it really took off. In 1986 and 1987, they just took off like wildfire, and now it's become routine to use fax instead of calling or sending a letter or even sending Federal Express.
You've got the whole world in your hand. You've got
Another new product that keeps us in touch, no matter where we are, is the cellular phone. It came out in 1983, and although the phones were slow to catch on, they're more connected to us now than ever before.
People are getting to the point there, too, where you have to have one to do your business.
whole world in your hand.
But without a doubt, the #1 consumer product of the 80s is the compact disc. Its clear, crisp musical quality is quickly doing away with cassette tapes and especially albums.
One of the biggest discoveries concerning compact discs in the decade was that they can be used for computers too. So the CDs that you see for music can also store data. You could put 250,000 pages of information on one disc, meaning an entire encyclopedia could fit on one disc.
What we're doing right now is pouring liquid nitrogen into a simple little chemical petri dish.
In the world of science, the biggest breakthrough of the decade was superconductivity. Discovered by IBM, it basically allows energy to flow with no loss.
It could lead to all sorts of neat things, like electric cars will become practical. Magnetic levitation trains have been around a while, but now they'll be much more practical. We could have trains flying 300 miles per hour above their tracks, using the force of magnets that repels instead of attracts.
It comes with a very strong mic.
In the 80s, we became much more of a society on the go, so items that used to fit on top of a desk, we now want in our pockets and briefcases.
In the area of television, we've gone from the 13-inch models that used to be the smallest you could find down to 2-inch diagonal screens. The 80s has not been a decade of tremendous breakthroughs that you can point to and say, wow, look, they cured cancer, or look at this computer that never existed. Instead, it's been a decade of continual improvements.
Perfect, just what I needed.
Here we are, just going through the motions one more time.
In pop music, Barbra Streisand has a new album, which she comes out with a new one every one or 2 years. The new album is a compilation of 8 hits that we know from her past recording career. But she has put 2 new songs on it. One of them, We're Not Making Love Anymore, is hopefully a top 10 hit for her. She hasn't had one in a long time. I think she may need the video. She had a last album, the one where she sang a couple songs with Don Johnson, that even though it had that star power, didn't really do as well as people had hoped. And I think she may be joining the video revolution to get some extra pop bang out of her song.
'Cause we're not making love anymore.
That's happening.
The Tracy Thurman story is yet another based upon reality television movie. The little bit of oddity about this one is, unlike the Preppy murder or the Rock Hudson story, I don't think a lot of people know who Tracy Thurman is. It's a child custody problem, and we've seen some of those before, but this one changed law in a very obscure way, and I think the movie dramatizes the change of that law.
Hereby sentence you to 6 years at the State Correctional Facility at Oroville, California.
Tom Selleck's movie comes out Friday. It's called An Innocent Man. He's a guy who goes to jail unfairly. A lot of prison scenes, a lot of hard convict-type drama, and traditionally this has not worked for him. He has been only accepted in a light leading man vein.
Take it easy, pal. You know I'm innocent, you son of a bitch! You know it!
It's going to be his shot again to see if 3 Men and a Baby was just a fluke, or if this guy really has a movie career.
Punk. Hey, Felix, hold my stuff up.
The wisdom here is that it's a prison movie, and guys can relate to that, and it's Tom Selleck, and the women viewer will like that. So you have a draw there, which, at least in very, standard box office terms, is a pretty could be a successful formula.
My first orders to this store and to another store, I made them all myself. I sold them actually on the machine, and I used to hang them on the fences out in Paris, and I would sell them right on the street.
Today, Mississippi-born designer Patrick Kelly has literally swept the fashion world. His clothes have won international acclaim for their bold colors and playful designs, spoofing tailored couture with a funky, funny mix of clothes.
Well, mine can make you happy on a rainy day, can make your husband happy that he married you, can brighten up your wardrobe.
Kelly's folksy style comes from his childhood memories of Vicksburg, Mississippi. Indeed, he attributes his start to his grandmother, who bought him a magazine from a house she was cleaning.
Here I had this magazine, this fashion magazine, and there was nobody black in it. So then my grandmother, being rural Mississippi, is trying to figure out a way to explain to me racial things and that, but in a nice way. She just said nobody has time. Of course, people had time. They just didn't. But why dwell on that thing? I mean, go around it, Instead of making a problem, find a solution.
And find one he did. By 1988, Kelly was the first American inducted into the Chambre Syndicale, the most elite French fashion industry union. His designs are not without controversy, but he insists they do have a broad appeal.
A lot of people say that I make fun of fashion. I don't make fun of fashion. I'm just having fun. Somebody who's had enough blazers, enough this, enough that, classic things, and they come to me for just a little spurt of excitement. There's a classical mood into my clothes, but if you want something happy and gay and bright and a little bit different, sometimes people say sexy. There are some sexy connotations there, but basically it's happy, very, very up kind of clothes, I think.
The irreverent Kelly, clad in his trademark overalls, has just completed introducing his fall line, and now has plans for a men's and kids' line of clothes as well. What can his clothes do for your image?
You're the canvas, and they're like the paint and the paintbrush to complete the picture.